Hi guys, I'm Rockin Robin from CookingMexicanRecipes.com, and today I am making a pork chalupa recipe. Now this is a crock pot recipe that is super simple. It has some black beans in it, some pork, a bunch of spices, and it just cooks up all on its own and in about 6 hours on high, and if you want to cook it longer you can do it on low for about 9 hours. Alright, let's go over our ingredients. We're going to start off with a 3 to 4 pound boneless pork butt or shoulder. We'll need 2 cups of black beans. These have been rinsed. Next, we're going to use about 2 or 3 cups of chicken broth. We'll need 1 can of fire roasted diced tomatoes. I really like to use the fire roasted because they have a little bit more flavor. We'll need 1 4-ounce can of diced green chilies. Here I have about a half a cup of yellow onion that's finely chopped up. And here we've got a couple of, well, probably about 4 or 5 cloves of minced garlic that I chopped up really fine. Go ahead and use as much as you like on that. Here we have 1 tablespoon of ground chili powder, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, and a couple of teaspoons of salt. All right, so here's my crock pot. I have a small one and it works just fine. If you have a bigger one, that's even better. So first thing we're going to put in is our beans. We'll just pour those in the bottom, just like that. Make sure they're spread out. And next we're just going to add our green chilies. Now I did drain out the juice from these. So we'll just spread those around. And next goes our pork. So just place your pork right on top, just like that. So now all we have to do is add the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in the diced tomatoes, and you just want to spread everything around. Throw in the onions and the garlic. Again, just spread it around. Now when I do the spices, I do try and spread them around as well. I don't want them clumped and all in one spot, so I'm just going to sprinkle this around like that. And now I'll add the ground cumin. That was the chili powder I just put in. Now the ground cumin, the salt, a couple of teaspoons of salt, and the last thing I'll put in is the chicken broth. Now here I've got a couple cups, and I'm going to see how full my crock pot is before I add any more. That's probably enough. We'll start with that. I can always add more later. So now all we got to do is put the lid on and turn it on. So all I got to do is plug it in. And this is going to cook for 6 hours. And we'll come back and check it then. Okay? All right. So our chalupas have been cooking now for about 8.5 hours. I decided to go ahead and cook it a little longer, and that's the beauty of a crock pot. You can do that and it doesn't hurt the recipe at all. In fact, it makes it better because your meat turns out even more tender. So what we want to do now, I'm going to turn this off. No, actually I'll leave it on low. We're going to pull the meat out, and it's really tender, so hopefully it doesn't fall apart. I'm going to put it on the cutting board, and I'm going to shred it up. Let me see if I can get this out of here in one piece. Okay, 2 pieces. Pull it out. I can see it's just wonderfully tender and it's really falling apart. So what I want to do here is just pull it out so that I can get some of that extra fat out that I don't really want in my dish. It smells incredibly good. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is just kind of have a look at this. Here's some pieces of fat that I really don't want to include. I'll just push them to the side. This meat is just falling apart because it's beautifully tender. And you just want to go through it and just pull out some of that fat. Pieces like this, you can just kind of break it up a little bit. Here's another little chunk. And then as you work your way through, you can just place your meat back in the pot. Keep it nice and warm. This dish is great for a party because you can set it all up and then it's basically hands-free and self-serve. And we just go through the whole thing like that. I've shredded all of the pork and I've put it back into our pot here and I want you to have a little look-see. It smells incredible and it looks very delicious. Now you can see the beans, which is a nice amount mixed in there. You got your beans and of course the pork and all the spices. I'm ready to put this together. I heated up a flour tortilla in my tortilla oven in the microwave. You can do it on the stove if you want to. All right, so we'll put that down on the plate. I'm gonna add some of this pork and the beans, and I'll let it drain just a little bit. And then I'll spread it across my tortilla like this. And get a little more meat on there. All right. Now I made some fresh guacamole today, and I do have a link at the end of this video for you to find this, and you can watch that video and make it. And I'm going to place a nice generous amount on here. And then I'm going to top it with some shredded cheese. You can add sour cream or onions or anything else that you might want to add. And you can roll it over or fold it up. And here we've got a nice little burrito with our pork chalupa. So that's how you make my pork chalupa recipe in the crock pot. I hope you'll give that a try. It is really delicious. A lot of people have made this and everybody really enjoys it. So thanks for watching today, and be sure and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Adios. I'm Robin from CookingMexicanRecipes.com, and today we're making some guacamole. Now before I get into the recipe, I want to talk to you a little bit about our ingredients. We're going to start off with the Hass avocado. This is really